Umar Bunyota, we come from the same area of residence or village. That is formerly known as Namunsi, but it is currently called the Kabogoza Cell. Kabogoza Cell, Afia Ward, Northern State Division, Mbale City. Who is Umar Bunyota? Umar Bunyota is a son to the late Mzee Bunyota. Mzee Bunyota was a close associate of my father, Mr. Mbaga Andrew. Started operating a butchery on my father's premises in 1993 at a place called Namunsi or Afia. So from 1993 to 2007, upon the demise of Mzee Bunyota, all the children of Mzee Bunyota, from Rashid, Yazid, Isima, Siraj, Kabaliga, the late Umar, and Awad were left in the care of my father. They took over the business of their late father. It is from where Umar, having dropped from school, started working with his elder brothers. And in the year 2014, when they had all matured in business, they decided to separate themselves from the main butchery that had raised them. There are those that started their butcheries in Nakaloke, there are those started in Namakwekwe, there are those started in Msijabwankuba. But Umar later requested us that he be granted space to put his cattle shed and a butchery. So we gave him space where he has been operating from 2014. So from 2014, he expanded his trade in meat from having one butchery to 6 butcheries in the city and supplying very many companies, schools and institutions around the city. It is from that same source of income that Umar had also ventured into real estate. Umar had started a business of real estate where he would buy properties and sell the same. So despite the fact that the only business that has been known as meat business, Umar has also been a real estate dealer. He has been operating under a contract of slaughter slabs on behalf of Mbale City. He had operated or managed the same utility for 2 financial years. And he has been ably paying the dues to Mbale City Council. Umar was a very young man at 34, but was employing directly more than 70 people. Right from the suppliers of the cattle, those who work at the butcheries, very many people on construction sites, and other business entities. So all the 70 directly employed staff that I have in my record were curtailed from their source of revenue, which was already Umar. The late Umar, together with the 3, were unfortunately murdered on their way to Amudat. The cause of death automatically, I've not accessed the post-mortem report, but we all know that the deceased was assassinated. I want to rule out the information that has been moving that it were cattle rustlers who killed them. It was an assassination, a planned assassination that was executed by the persons yet to be identified, traced, or arrested by Uganda police. There was no involvement of cattle rustlers. There was no involvement that the deceased had gone to steal cattle. The deceased was a well-known, trustworthy person who had a lot of cattle in hands of very different people in Uganda and in Kenya. Umar would buy cows even from Kenya and bring them to Mbale. Umar would buy cows from Lira, from Bukedi, and from Bugisu. Umar was not involved in cattle theft. Never. So rumors that were moving that he was a notorious cattle thief are baseless, untrue, and unfounded. Because from the history I've given you all his life, he has been in cattle business. I've never had any report against him, either at police or being prosecuted for the same. And neither anyone has ever found his lost or stolen cattle or goat in all the crows that he has been owning. That was executed in Amudat, which we believe that Uganda police and the law enforcement agents will bring the culprits to account for the same. That is as far as the cause of death can be ascertained. All properties of Umar are well known. All properties of Umar are well known. As Umar's lawyer, I know every property that Umar hold. All the properties that are immovable have been ascertained. I ascertained all the creditors and the debtors. We ascertained all the cash that was at hand. The collections, the Sunday collections from all the butcheries, the monies that were collected from the sale of meat in all the 6 butcheries. All those monies have been recovered and ascertained. So there is no money that has been stolen by any employee of Umar, by any relative of Umar, or by the widow of Umar. There is no property that has been mismanaged or stolen by either party. All the properties are intact as they were before the demise of Umar. What we are trying to do as the lawyers of the deceased is to contain a situation where mismanagement can issue by having temporary managers of the estate pending the appointment of the administrator of the estate. We are also resuming the operations of the business. Since all employees were in a meeting, we discussed how the business has been being managed, and we all resolved that every employee remains where he or she was. There is no employee that has been sacked, and there is no employee that has lost his or her job. So all employees have remained in the respective capacities or areas of operations, where those who were managing the real estate are still managing the real estate. Those who were responsible for purchase of the cattle from the fields are going to continue going to the field to purchase the cattle. Those who were on the slaughter slabs are still going to continue with the slaughter slabs. Those who have been in the daily collection of the money from the abattoir or the slaughter slab, still they are continuing with their work. And all what they are doing, they are reporting to the lawyers of the estate. All the money is being collected from the transactions being executed. All the money is being recovered from the creditors. all the expenses from the date of death and burial are being managed by the lawyers of the estate. So I want to appeal to the public that the estate of the late Umar is in safe hands. It is properly and professionally managed. There is no looting, there is no bickering, because we are managing the estate professionally. I, as of one, not only was he my lawyer, but was my young brother. So we are ensuring that the estate is managed for the benefit of the beneficiaries of the estate. And no one is going to tamper with the estate because everything is clear. The properties are sustainable, both movable and immovable. The due and legal process of the management of the estate is ongoing. That's what I can submit. The late Umar had only one known spouse to us. The late Umar, before his demise, gave me the list of his children who were 8. But the list is a 1-year-old list of 2013 or 2023. So you don't not know between 2023 and at the date of his demise whether he had fathered a child or not. But we are saying that any person who has Umaru's children, wherever they are, they can bring the children to us, and we shall subject them to DNA to confirm whether they are Umaru's children, and they'll be entitled to whatever benefit due to them as beneficiaries of the estate. Just as I'd said, every family has differences. We all come from families that have differences, and such differences always issue or emanate or manifest when such situations do occur. It is a judicial notice known that Umar had differences with some people, but those differences cannot be attributed to anything to do with the estate of Umar. As a person, you can have a difference with any other person, but I want to tell the public that there is a very strong relationship between Umaru's widow and Umaru's siblings and Umaru's mother. There is no dispute between the two. However, it is the outside community that is trying to influence negativity from both sides for the purposes of either disrupting the ongoing investigations or for the purposes of what they thought that they would mismanage the estate. But from the meetings that I held with all the camps, the widow was at another home, but as of yesterday night, the widow was transferred back to the ancestral home where she is, and the dua is ongoing today. So we managed to bring all the parties together. We managed to bring the wife, her relatives, and the relatives of the deceased. They are all together, and they are all mourning together from the ancestral ground where Umar was laid to rest. It is true there was an issue of a fight between the two camps, which arose from a mistrust and a misunderstanding. But the same was arrested. The same situation was arrested before it escalated, and the situation came back to normal. So as I speak of now, the situation is normal, and everything is as it were before Umar had passed on.